Recording in progress.
Deal with these matters mainly when we meet them. But indeed, this is very good work. Thank you very much, Chair.
And also, right. I joined the meeting late, Chair. Perhaps that's why.
Oh, that's why. That's probably the main reason. Okay, I see. All right. Colleagues, let's do this because there's been quite a number of puzzle issues raised here. And I'm just thinking it may be prudent that we have National Treasury and or Public Service Administration next week when we meet with UIF. There are quite a number of system lapses which I think need our attention. And I think Bob Mazambane raises an important issue which he did raise and one has been flagged about IDs and so on. So I think maybe we let's see if we can put a brief together, so Stombi put Ben, and invite them to our meeting next week so that we get a broader sense of system and interventions which are currently at play to deal with these things. Because in as much as we are dealing with the corruption, COVID may have helped, and I'm skirting on very thin ground here, but it may have helped to expose the fault lines, which ordinarily may have not been receiving the kind of attention that we should insofar as how people abuse the system. And so I think the heightened use of systems of the UIF and so on draw our attention to other areas. So I just think that may help, but I mean, it's something we can discuss on the side, offline over the next day or two, so that we can get those departments in as part of a broader outlook. Let me get to Mam Tolashe, and then we'll bring our meeting to an end. After that, I'll just make one or two announcements afterwards. Mam T, over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Good day, and good day, colleagues, Advocate Matibi and the team. My chair is just to say, as you are summarizing that way, can't you also call back the report that we had? We remember we did visit UIF. There was a report compiled by ourselves. There were systemic issues that we raised sharply. If you cannot please call back that report and see, comparing to what we discussed and agreed that was to be implemented by the department, how far did they go in that implementation? Because whilst I am listening from the report presented by Advocate Matibi and the team, I get to understand that some of the issues that are being raised by them were the issues that we also picked up when we visited UIF headquarters, especially as Honorable Mazambane is articulating the issues, the systemic issues. So I'll make that request for us to call back that report and start to compare whether what we do does have some kind of impact, or departments are just listening and not doing anything. To an extent, they get involved into what we saw coming without being resolved by the concerned department. That's my take in this one, Chair. Thank you very much.
No, I think that is fine. Mam Tulash, you are quite right. So to please pull up that report of ours. And then there's issues, of course, interlinked to this with the compensation fund as well. There's the issue of the forensic investigations that we had directed as part and parcel of cleaning up the mess that currently prevails at UIF and compensation fund. So I think let's pull that up as well. So I think we are fine on that one. Mamdulash, you are correct. I think I really want to also echo the sentiments that have been expressed by colleagues to say, SIU, we thank you very much for the good work that you are doing. You are a beacon of hope, an island of hope in a sea of, well, trouble and chaos. And so I think you can rest assured of our support in the work that you are doing. you may not reach everything that needs to be reached, but we are making significant headway in eating away at the advances of the corruption that's taking place. I'm glad that you've got a strat plan in December. That works well. I think we have also been held up as parliamentary committees rather because of COVID in having our own strat plans, but I know we've got the green light now to plan for that. And I'm sure we will be as a committee once the nitty-gritties of how we should be doing that are finalized. Be inviting yourselves as well to when we're having ours so that we can share insight and perspective in strengthening the work, because I think collaboration is going to be the name of the game of all the law enforcement agencies and parliamentary structures as we sort of just push back on this. So I think we're looking forward to the outcomes of your strat plan so that we can get a sense of the direction that you will be taking. Because I think we need to borrow from the experiences of this period to say that it has exposed largely where the problems are. Some of the areas have been neglected, as Babulis has said, and have not received the due attention which they should. And so circumstances compel us now anew that no, let's go back to those basics, as also Mahmoud Dolashe is saying. And also for us to avoid duplication of recommendation and instruction and working in silos. We are making recommendations on one hand and you're doing work on that. So that's why I'm really emphasizing the issue of collaboration being very, very important. So I think we are going to be taking the matters you have raised with us forward with the UIF next week and the Department of Employment and Labor, and probably with all the other stakeholders who are an integral part of that framework of work and see how we can take that forward. So I think we are satisfied so far with the work that is being done and the progress that has been made. And of course, we are awaiting your final report on the 30th of November on PPE corruption. So that remains firmly on our radar so that we can see how far that work has gone, because that was what was indicated to us in our last meeting together for the 30th of November, that report is coming out. I'm sure it will also give progress, of course, on issues around digital vibes, as you call that. There have been developments in that area. So we'll need an update on that. There's court action, there's new work and so on. So that is important that we keep our fingers on the pulse on those issues. So SIU, thank you very much, Advocate, you and your team. We thank you very much for the work that you do. Keep it up and you rest assured of our support. Colleagues.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Two announcements. We're meeting this evening. Is it 6 o'clock or 6:30, Sis Ndombi?
Let me check.
6:30, those
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30. National Treasury expansions and deviations, the meeting that was from last week, which did not proceed, that's tonight. And so maybe it's all the well that we finish early this morning. And then we'll take that work forward this evening, National Treasury. Colleagues, yesterday we ended on a note of saying we're going to visit the South African Post Office. We want to finalize that application by tomorrow. So could colleagues please indicate to Sistombi and Ben, those who will be attending, I'm sure will be leaving on the Thursday evening so we can have an early start on that Friday and factor in a structured oversight to the South African Post Office. So I'll request colleagues that you advise Sistombi and Ben probably at the end of this meeting, say by 12, so that they know, so they can finalize the logistics of that oversight. And then to say that next week, we'll be taking forward the issues from this meeting of the UIF with the department, and we'll be factoring in all the issues that have been raised. So colleagues, I think, are we all good on that note? Going once,
Good, good, and bye-bye.
twice, going twice. All right, colleagues, thank you very
Good,
much.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. We shall meet this evening at 6:30 with National
Okay.
Treasury. Yes, I used to have a good day further, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Long
Thank you.
live the
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Long live the chair.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, chair, aye, aye.